Welcome back. Welcome to day 3 on our Talks Kids Have Stress Too. I'm Stephanie Vanderveen.
I'm Kathy Crothers.
We're back at the River of Hope Baptist Church. Thank you very much for having us here. We also want to take this time to acknowledge Treaty 6 territory that we are on right now. Thank you also to Town Devon, who has helped us get together and present this to everyone here. And also thank you to the FCSS, the Family Community Support Services. They're amazing. If you ever have any questions or you have any concerns or you need help in any way, check them out first. They're on Facebook and Google.
Town office.
Town office, those guys too.
All right, so a short recap, Steph. Last time we talked about dealing with stress, helping children with normal stress.
Talking about routines and just kind of finding a way to work that in your life. There's no set. There's no you have to do it this way. Make it your own. Make it your family's own.
Incorporate some of those rituals that children can predict and they look forward to in order to become as successful as they possibly can in navigating through their daily life.
Absolutely.
We also talked about what the signs, what are some of the signs for a preschooler,
Yep.
Kindergarten, a child, maybe even us. And so today we'd like to start off by talking about stress management in good times.
All right. Well, there's some really good ones here we have here again. Thank you to the Psychology Foundation of Canada for this amazing book that we're going through. We talk about making sure preschoolers have plenty of unstructured playtime. This is something that I do a lot with my own kids and I do with my kids who come to my day home. Just letting them have their own opportunity to go and just play and discover and just learn from themselves, and having it in a safe environment where I know that the pieces aren't too small, that the things aren't dangerous, and that each kid has an opportunity to play in their own space.
You know, we want our children to feel good about themselves in their everyday life. So what is important in stress management in good times is that they become very confident in reducing their stress themselves. So one of the most important things is sleep. Children need, how much sleep do they need?
Oh, about 12 hours of sleep.
Yeah, 10 to 12 hours of sleep.
Yep.
Yeah. And last time we were together, Steph talked about their bedtime routine, making it calm and non-negotiable.
Absolutely.
You know?
No, there definitely is a time in parenting where black has to be black and white has to be white. And that's one of the things, is that kids actually thrive on having those boundaries and having, this is how it goes. And if you're going to say no, then there are repercussions. But most of the time they know that the best thing for them is to go to sleep, brush their teeth, have a story, go to bed.
Vigorous physical activity is another great stress reliever.
Absolutely. I have to say, I know that it's a really cool thing where my kids go to school, that if the teachers notice that they're getting fidgety, they're getting jumpy, even at kindergarten, they give them chances to kind of work that out by doing jumping jacks or finding a way to kind of get that burst of energy out, because kids really aren't meant to just sit there and just stay stagnant. Like, they have to move at times. And so even acknowledging that when it's quiet time and going, oh, this kid needs to run first, getting that physical exercise, going outside, going for a walk, going to the park,
coming to indoor playground
on Thursdays. Absolutely. Or at the church here, they have a Friday play group. So finding a play group they can just go. And I know even when we were laughing, because in Devon here, as everyone here knows, in the spring we get so much ice and it's so hard to walk or go anywhere. But when the kids come into the community center, the first thing they do isn't go for the toys, it's just run. They just want to run because it's not icy and it's safe, and they can just run straight for at least 30 seconds without running into anybody or anything. They just need to get that energy out.
Kids need a minimum of 2 hours of vigorous activity daily.
Absolutely.
Allowing your children to make choices. Having said that, not too many choices. Give them choices within healthy guidelines.
Absolutely. Bedtime. If you say to your kid, go get me a book, you could have a 5-10 minute waiting for that kid to get that one book, or they bring you 20 books. Whereas if you say, should we read this book or this book, you've given them a set number of choices, and that's going to help them not be overwhelmed and also have them go, I want that book.
Yeah, it avoids that struggle.
Yep.
When stats show that when people have control or think they have control over a situation, it reduces the stress.
Absolutely.
Tenfold. Yeah.
Also, one really important one for kids, especially this day and age, is limiting their screen time, be it the TV, the computer, video games, phones. I know with my kids, when I see them being on the screen too much, it really does change their behavior. So making sure that there is a set limit to be able to play Minecraft or Nintendo or whatever the case may be, watching Paw Patrol.
I've seen parents, and I think it's a really good thing. They'll put on a timer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
I put on a timer, and when the timer goes, have a dance party.
Or even just giving them the knowledge that the time is running out, going, we have 5 minutes left. It just prepares them mentally to go, okay, I'm almost done. That also, even leaving a playground, going someplace, hey, we have 5 more minutes before we leave home to go home now, definitely helps them just know that there's something going on, and it gives them a little sense of control, that they know what's happening next, not just the, okay, we're going now.
So one of the ways to help your children in stress management is to model how stress affects you. So one of the days in preparing for this, prior to our meeting, I read this little blurb in this great little magazine, and it says, to model, and I did this. I was running around the kitchen like a headless chicken, and all of a sudden I stopped and I said, wow, is Grandma ever stressed out? And my oldest grandson, he said, well, Grandma, you should start breathing. And so we did. We breathed together, and that opened the segue. Tell me about times when you're stressed out.
Nice. That communication is awesome. And just admitting to kids, even letting them see that you're human, that we are human. There are times where we are wrong, and there are times where we are stressed as well. But knowing that they're watching, and we can show them, we can model for them how we can deal with stress as a mature adult.
That's right. One of the most important facts that I think, if you know, the two of us, we cherish this the most, is make sure you tell your children how much you love them. Mm-hmm. Make sure you show the children around you how much they are loved and they are valued.
Absolutely. You claim those kids. You let them know that you cannot get away from us. We love you so much, and it is absolutely a steady foundation. There is no other way to crumble this. I love you. If nothing else, let them know that.
So the next topic that we're going to move into is, can some stress be avoided? Not all stress can be alleviated. One of the most valuable acronyms that I have learned through the years, it's called Halt. It stands for hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. When I find myself in times of stress, prior to reading a booklet, and I'm just not coping well, I try to remember, I try to model taking that deep breath, responding versus reacting. But I also try to reflect what's happening with me.
Yep.
Am I hungry? Because boy, when I'm hangry, I'm hangry. And angry. So what's irritating me? Angry is such a big word. What's irritating me? One of the things could be just really dirty glasses. my view becomes shaded, and I'm just irritable and lonely. Lonely can be something that's happening underlying. Maybe I haven't seen my parents for a while, or my family, and I have a yearning, and it's affecting the way I'm dealing with everyday stress.
Absolutely.
And then it's back to tired. Halt. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired.
And even feeling lonely, think about when you're in a room full of people and yet you just feel like no one's really connecting with you, or no one's really seeking you out or responding to you. You can be lonely in a crowded room. And thinking about little kids going into pre-kindergarten for the first time, or going to a play group and not knowing anyone, especially with COVID. A lot of the youngest kids right now don't know how to respond or how to play with other kids. And they can just feel so secluded and so out of sorts because they don't know how to respond to their kids, and that can be very overwhelming. Yes. So even thinking about being lonely in terms of being with people, it's possible. So responding with that.
It's important we remember, Steph and I, we've talked about this, each having 3 kids, and not comparing. We want to remember our sensitive children. We want to remember that it's not only sensitivity to emotion, but there's sensitivity to our senses, lights, sounds,
absolutely,
smells. And a lot of our little COVID people, our COVID children, our adolescents in COVID times, noise is a huge factor. Coming back together in the classroom, in the church, in the hall, even outside, noise is a huge factor.
Absolutely.
So being aware and trying to avoid some of these everyday stressors and long-term stressors are being aware of the senses around us, being aware of our own actions, hungry, angry, lonely, tired, establishing routines, rituals,
and being prepared for these things. So we talk about, if you know, for example, you're going to the play group, but then afterwards you have to go get groceries. Well, that's a very physical experience with a lot of overwhelming noise and yelling and kids. But knowing that afterwards you might be hungry, so preparing yourself right then and there, having a snack afterwards, or having your blanket, because as soon as you get to that car, they want to have a slumber, they want to sleep. Or knowing that as soon as you get home, right to bed. Just preparing yourself for whether it's going to be hungry, angry, if there's a problem that happened earlier again, if some kid took some other kid's toy and you have a very angry little kid on your hands, well, I know that I bring their one teddy bear or their one blanket into the car. When we get in, there's some security for them. Or having a book or a toy, something in there that they're going to identify with. This is mine. I get to have this now. Or having to go on a shopping spree right afterwards. Going, okay, I need to prepare for this. What do I have to make it a positive event and not setting you up for failure?
And water. Make sure you remember your water bottles.
Sippy cups, well, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay. I talked last time about responding versus reacting. Yeah. And Stephen Covney, this is his concept that he's brought to the forefront for years. And so when we are thinking about responding versus reacting, one of the gifts you can give yourself also, or in addition to the pause, is being prepared. Okay? When that happens, it's an example to your children of resilience. Being resilient in the time of stress. Some people call that the bounce back, and some people call it the willingness to do the work. And so now we want to talk about feelings. We want to talk about how to talk to your children and most of us do this. Most of us do this. But as early as possible, it's important to begin to talk to your children, and as a husband and wife team, a partnership with your grandparents, talking about feelings is really important. The earlier the children can identify what they're feeling, the better they can cope and deal with them.
Absolutely. And communicate to you, the caregiver, what's going on. And so just saying things like, oh, you're upset, that's not really giving them the recognition or identifying what that particular emotion may be. So being able to go and say, okay, so you're upset. Are you sad? Are you angry? Are you frustrated? Frustrated means just you can't explain to me. Okay, let's try and find the right word. What happened? Being able to break it down is very important, because kids, they have feelings. They have feelings just like we have feelings, but they just can't communicate as well as we can. So helping them and using the right words is going to help them as they get older to be able to say, I'm just so angry about this. This happened and it makes me frustrated, or it makes me sad, or I'm just so sad about this happening right now that I don't know what to do.
So that what you're talking about, Steph, is the first step in talking about emotions and feelings is to label your own. So for an example, you've lost your car keys, or you've lost your cell phone.
Never.
And I say, oh, Grandma is so frustrated. I've lost my phone again. Frustrated? Well, what does that mean? You can delve into that with them. Children who have learned to express their emotions are more than likely to negotiate and dissipate their stress earlier, because they know what's happening to their body, mind, and spirit. The other thing about talking about feelings is that we are modeling to our children that their feelings matter to us.
Absolutely, yep.
That when they come to us and they say, I'm really angry right now, I'm so mad, you, by just as Steph, you talked about getting down to their level, encouraging eye contact, and being present.
Absolutely.
Man, oh man, there's no better gift.
It comes back to just letting them be so secure in who you are. You are someone who loves them and that they can trust you. Now, we did talk about this just before we started filming here, about how we are people and we are humans and we have our own emotions as adults. And always we try to do the right thing. We try to be the best we can. But there are days where we just have rotten days and rotten moments. And it's important to know that when those days come, when your kids are pushing you to see how far they can push you, it's just a test. They just want to see if you really do love them, to come back and love them. But it is okay for us to go, I need to walk away for a second and collect my own emotions and then come back and address it. I know as a first-time mom, one of the books that we were reading was saying, there are times where that baby is crying and you don't know what it wants. You've tried everything and nothing is working. And before you lose it, walk away. Put the baby in a safe spot. Go calm down, get hold of your emotions, because you're tired, you're irritable, your body's gone through all these changes, your emotions are everywhere, and just breathe and come back in control. Same thing goes for kids. They will try to push you. I love my kids, but they will try, and they're so good, but they still try. And you just need to go, I need to walk away. I will be back, and I will address it then as the responsible, loving, caring adult that I know I am. I know you are. But we all just need at times to take a break. And it's okay. You haven't failed. You just are human.
It takes a lot of time. It takes time to develop emotional control, emotional regulation. So don't be disappointed.
Don't beat yourself up.
it will happen.
Yeah,
slow but sure.
And they're watching and they're learning from you. So with you being able to walk away and just go, I just need to breathe and come back, you're showing them that there's times you just need to go, all right, now let's come back. Let's address it responsibly and maturely.
Yeah. All right. Now,
I think we're done for today. I think
the two of us together,
we really like to talk a lot,
and we're talking about something very important.
I know, right?
Yeah. So thanks again for joining us.
Thank you, and we'll hope to see you again at our final meeting.
Okay, thanks, and have fun out there.
Bye.